Alright, hello guys. It's again me with Perfect Nunchuk optimal anviling. Because the last one I put on actually had at least one major error but multiple errors. So I made enchanting better and penetration was on, which is like an extremely bad choice. Don't use penetration. So we do this again. Skip forward if you just want to see the combination. I'm gonna talk a bit about the enchantments and my choices. First of all, nunchucks. I just like to not aim. There's some reasons for using nunchucks. They're still pretty strong. They don't do the strongest base damage, but overall it's definitely a very good choice. Iced instead of flamed because we get utility, it slows enemies and it lets flying enemies fall down to the ground, which you don't get with flamed. Also, you get with flamed you don't get any extra. The we have supreme fire aspect that triggers that triggers the ash destroyer, even though it's iced. It's kind of weird, but it does. And that's the only reason why we would want the enemy to burn. It's just for Ash Destroyer to trigger so that it is double damage. Alright, so that's why we go for Iced Nunchucks. Now, first of all, we have 21 enchantments plus 1, that's 22. We do an enchanting pattern. I found out that's better. We do 1, 2, 4, 4. Upgraded potentials 1, 2, 4, 4. That's exactly 22, which is exactly what we have here with the nunchucks. If you count it right, it's 23, but we don't count upgraded potentials. Alright, first thing we do is we sort for price, or for like how expensive something is. This is 16. I'm gonna check out the more expensive stuff first. This is 20. This is 12. This is 12. This is 10. This is 5. This is 10. 6. 8. 20. It's 2. It's 4. 6. It's 4. We don't count this. This is 4. 4. That's 12. That's 3. 4. And another 6. Wait. That's 4. Alright, and now we sort this with with the pattern I just told you. So first of all, 0, 1, 1, 2. So that's the, like we add one book and then we add two books. And we just put the ones, on the one spots we put the most expensive ones. And then we have 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 3. So we have two one spots here, which we can fill with those books. And then we have another, like the same situation. We put on upgraded potentials. And then we put on one book, we put on two books, and then 4, 4. So this is 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 3. So we have here a one spot, here one spot, here one spot, and here one spot. So we just fill those with the most expensive books we have. Well, we're done with the one spots, now the two spots. And we just follow with the next most expensive books. And here, like we have 2 8 books. Those we would want to put not in a 4 combination, but in a 2 combination because we paid addition. So we put them here. I mean, I could also switch them. You can always swap them. Only the placements matter. Alright, and then we have 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So 8 more books we can fill. And the 6 books we don't put all in the same combination, so the total price per 4 book is as cheap as possible. So we put this here, and we just fill it up. And those are the 3 spots. So we have 4 3 spots, but only 3 books left because, well, we only have 21 enchantments and we have space for 22, so 1 spot is empty. We could put it anywhere, but this is the most reasonable choice, or this one, it doesn't matter, one of those two. So we just fill this up with the cheapest. Alright, and now we combine. And I already did that before, obviously. The price stays lower than 40 levels per enchantment, which is pretty cool. I was never able to do that before. So first of all we do the 2 combinations. Here you don't have a combination. And here you also don't have a combination because this one is missing. Alright, now we do the 4 combinations. This is only 30 levels. 10 levels. We don't combine those. Those are 2 separate books. This is upgrade potentials 1, 2. Then 4. 4, I mean it's 3 books, but we call it 4. Alright, and now we just put on like this on there, and then this on there, and then upgrade potentials, and this. This is 36. This is 35. Then we put on upgrade potentials. 10, 12, 22, 28, 29. You can count how much it is in total, but it's probably the cheapest possible, also in levels. Not 100% sure. We probably pay a bit more. We could probably do it in less levels, in 3 less levels if we wouldn't use upgrade potentials, but we pay way less XP like this. But yeah, this is the end product. I'm just gonna talk about the choice of enchantments for a second. Swifter Slashes is clear, Supreme Sharpness is clear. Subject English, you can choose any subject. I don't recommend subject PE because it overrides your buffs. So if you have resistance 3 from wine buffing and you have subject PE, that overrides your resistance, and then suddenly you have resistance 1, and if that goes away you have resistance 0. So I only recommend that if you only use the weapon without buffs. Then Adept, we can't use education anymore. So we use Adept with advanced looting. You can obviously also switch out both of them for education, but I like for an overall weapon this is better. Like you get loot and XP extra. The Clear Skies is a choice of mine. I like that. You can not use it if you want. Clear Skies gives plus 5 damage. For comparison, Supreme Sharpness is plus 12. So it's kind of a lot. But it's only plus 5 if you're if you have skylight access, so the block above you, there's no blocks above you. And it's clear weather. If... the fuck is this? It's a hammer. If you have skylight access and it's thundering or raining, you have minus 3.6 damage, so less damage. And the chance to make it clear weather with around 1% chance per hit. Exactly 0.75%, whatever. I don't know if that works on servers. But it should. I don't know. And it has no change when you're underground, so if you have no skylight access, like right now, the Clear Skies would just not do anything. Yeah, and the last thing I want to talk about is Purging Blade. It's kind of a weird thing. It's kind of depending. I tried a bit with DPS testing and stuff. It is better to have it in most cases, especially in the Lost Cities. If you do do a weapon which relies on debuffs like the sentient cleaver, or you use a battle axe in the offhand with desolator, you probably don't want to use purging blade. But on the nunchucks, it's definitely a good idea if you don't use an offhand desolator weapon. I'm gonna talk about that in my next video, where I check out all the damage sources. But like usually for an all-around nunchuck, it is better to use Purging Blade. It has a 40% chance to increase your overall damage by 20% and add 5 magic damage. That's not what the enchantment description says, but well, sucks. And it removes potion buffs or debuffs on the enemy, which also means that stuff like poison or wither from envenomed doesn't work with Viper anymore in those cases. That's why I had to test it, but it came out pretty clearly that it's like you do more damage with it than without it. In all cases, with buffs, without buffs, it was pretty clear that it was winning. Exactly. Another thing I missed saying was about subject English. The enchantment description says that it only works with smarter mobs, but that's not the case. It's not implemented. It just works on all mobs. It just adds +2. All subject enchantments do +2, just flat. Subject science adds explosions. I don't like explosions, like random explosions. It's not a problem, I just don't like it on my screen. You can go for that as well. Subject English is just flat +2, nothing else. Subject P is also +2 and has those extra buffs that can be good, but it can also be a problem. Yeah, that's it. Hope that helps, and good luck enchanting. Bye bye.